Making money is easy, and if you don't believe that, this video is for you, because in this video, what we're gonna do is essentially talk about 7 questions that I got from a book called Make Money Easy that essentially illuminated I had this scarcity wound. Even though it's not my current belief, it's a subconscious belief that was fully illuminated for me to address, because awareness is essentially the first step in change. By becoming aware of this stuff, I was kind of blown away with the subconscious belief that I illuminated, and you might be too. And not only that, I'll show you what you can do with all the information that we're going to gather to analyze it and create solutions to it. But before we get started, go ahead and subscribe to this channel. And if I create value for you in it, give it a like. And if you got a question, drop it in the comments below. I'd love to answer it. So number one, let's just talk about a background of what essentially happens with money, right? Because when we're kids, what we do is we learn from our parents, and we're watching our parents, and everything we see them do, we adopt as our belief. So essentially what the reality is that you might be going through is essentially you have your subconscious mind and your conscious mind. And mine, maybe yours is too, is like slightly different or extremely different. So my subconscious mind, which creates my reality and my worlds, has this belief of scarcity. It has a money wound. There's a lack. There's not enough money. You have to work really hard for money. There's not enough energy to make money. You kind of get the gist of it. While my conscious mind over here is like, there's plenty of money to go around. Making money is easy. I don't have to work hard to make money. The less I do, the more money I generate. Can you see the contrast in that? And maybe that is your contrast too. But I only really figured out about these subconscious beliefs through the questions that I'm about to bring up to you. And when I bring up these questions, what I want you to do is write it down. Like, pause the video, take time to answer the question. Because once you answer all these questions, we can drop them into Google Gemini, and there you can get an analysis, because this is where I looked at my analysis and I was like, holy shit, we got to do something about this. And that's what I want to help you guys through as well. So let's get started. Question number one is, what do you learn about money as a child? Or what did you learn about money as a child? What is your current relationship with money? Are you stressed, angry, or excited? So go ahead and answer that question. You know, what did you learn about money as a child? So essentially look at the beliefs that your parents created, or how did you see your parents interact about money? You know, I always saw my parents, money was scarce. You had to work hard for it. There wasn't enough. We had to always save. We always had to be saving for whatever instance in life was going to happen that was just going to take away all of our money. You know, I learned that to be anxious around money. I learned to be shy around money. I learned that you had to work super fucking hard for money, even though that's a lie, you know? Like, and money is almost like draining to me. It's like anxiously draining. So like, go ahead and knock down all your stuff. And then on the flip side too, you know, whenever I get paid by clients, like, I'm fucking excited. Like, I love it. I love putting in bids for lots of money. I love getting money, and I love playing with money. I love spending with money. I love having fun. It's just like that subconscious fear just hangs it up. So, and be real with yourself. That's how you're going to get the most out of this. Number two is, what do you believe to be true about money? Is it good or is it bad? Is it a symbol of success? Is it a status symbol? Is there enough for everyone? Whew, this one's hard. So number two on our list here, I see money as a symbol of success. I see it as a symbol of value, and I see it as power. Let's see. I also believe that there's plenty of money to go around. And I believe everybody has access to money. It's whether they know how to attain it or not, if they're on the same frequency of it. And this was a second one where it's like there's that totem, not a totem pole, maybe a pedestal. You know, money's up here and I'm down here with the other people who are down here. You know, that's a subconscious belief. And I'm like, why do I believe that? I don't believe that, but there's some ingrained belief in my head. So also write down whatever your beliefs are. And that question one more time is, what do you believe to be true about money? Is it good? Is it bad? I think it's good. Is it a measure of success? I think so, but is it really? And is it a status symbol? I think it's a status symbol. And is there enough for everyone? I think there's enough for everybody. So go ahead and write down your answers. We'll go on to number 3 here. And pause the video if you need to answer that. Number 3 is, how do your emotions affect your spending or savings? This one illuminated it for me very well, and I also want you to really address this one with yourself. So my emotions, whenever I don't have enough or I'm feeling in lack, whether it's lack of energy, lack of time, I spend money. And I've noticed this in this past week. I had lack of time, so I was spending more money on food because I wasn't taking time to prep it. When I feel tired, I like to spend money on things to bring me comfort, whether it be for a dopamine hit or whatever. But I've noticed that my spending is higher when I'm more stressed and I'm more anxious. So essentially what I'm doing now is like when I feel stressed and anxious, I'm not going out into the world. I'm planning my ass here. And we're going to journal and we're going to write this out. Because essentially what I've noticed is I spend a lot more money when I'm stressed and anxious. And that's not a good thing, especially as an entrepreneur, because I'm always stressed and anxious, right? Like it's our superpower. But essentially, like identify how you, and then do you, if you're stressed and anxious, do you save money or do you spend it? Identify all the areas here that you might do. And then the other part I said too is like I have a hard time saving money in business. It always seems like there's, like money comes in. One time I got my camera stolen and I had to reinvest the giant check into a new camera and a new lens. Then I got a lot of money from another job and then I had to buy a new computer because mine was burning out. I was trying to make some money the other day during slow season, crashed my drone. You get the gist? Like there's always this, there's like the money comes into my life theme, and this is the theme, and this is what we're trying to like understand and project is there's some belief that pretty much self-sabotages me every time I make money. Like I make money, I gotta spend it. I make money, I gotta spend it. I make money, I gotta spend it. And that's what I'm like, well, fuck, I don't want that. Like I'm trying to save some money for some trips, some vacations, some time off work, some time to chill and relax. You probably are too. So go ahead and finish up your answers for that one. Let's see. Number 4 is, what is your greatest financial fears? Are you concerned about debt, inability to retire when you want? This one's funny. So my greatest fear around money is that I won't have enough to pay my bills and that essentially I'll be broke and that I'll be super fucking embarrassing for me because I work fucking hard. I work so hard and I put in so much time and so much effort. And there are times where I just have a lot of money and there's times when I don't have money and I'm like, and I hate the times when I don't have money. It's so draining. It's so exhausting. And it's just like, and in a sense, it just attracts lack as a whole. I'll say lack of time, lack of money, lack of energy, lack of mental stability. Like it's just like, it makes me feel awful. But when I have money, something I notice too is that I get lazy. Like I'm just like, oh, I'm good. There's no motivation. There's no stress. There's no anxiety. There's no pushing. I'm just like, I'm good. We're good. We like this. So I say my fear is not having enough money, becoming broke, which I've been broke several times as an entrepreneur. It's not really that fearful anymore. Those are the only fears that I could pull out. And I'm not afraid about not having money when I retire. I actually believe that I'm going to make so much money exiting one of my businesses that I've never even saved for retirement. And honestly, I had to pull out all my money as an entrepreneur to start up my first business. That actually collapsed too. So you get the gist here. So go ahead and identify any fears that you have around debt or the inability to retire. And then number 5, we got a few more here left, so keep on going. What words do you use to talk about money? Do you use luck, discount, cheap, borrow, loans, credit, bills, invest, save, raise? Go ahead and pause the video here and write down your answers. And then when you turn it back on, I'll tell you mine. So mine are, when I talk about money, I normally talk about deals. I talk about discounts. I talk about savings. I talk about how cheap something was, bargains and deals. And I'm like, fuck, I do that. I love savings. I love discounts. I love offers, marketing offers, right? And it's funny because my greatest fear around this is like, or, I guess whenever I talk to clients, I probably project this. I'm like, oh yeah, it's this much, but I'll give you a deal or I'll give you a discount or like, and I was like, oh shit, we do that. And not only that, whenever I bid some client work, I'm always trying to give them a deal because I'm afraid that if I charge them too much, then they'll work with somebody who's cheaper. And I'm like, but I put out a better product. Why would they want somebody who's cheaper? But you see the entangling of what we're doing here is like the response, the more you're like, damn, I do that to myself. Why do I do that to myself? But that's like healing, I guess, is like opening this door, right? So go ahead and figure out the rest of your answers for that one. I was trying to see if there's anything else that I had on mine. Yeah, that's the main one for that one for me. So think about any other words that talk about money, luck, discount, cheap, borrow, loans, credit, bills, and how do those words make you feel too? All right, next we're going to go to, how would you like your relationship with money to change? What does your ideal relationship with money look like? What would you would make you feel financially fulfilled with money? This question, it's so fucking good. And this is going to be one that's going to shift stuff for you. And I said, I like to feel tranquil, happy, relaxed, joyful, curious, and abundant with my money. I would like to have as much money as I could and not have enough things to spend it on. And I see all the wonderful experiences it can bring me in life. I think money is a tool for accessibility and freedom. That is my truest essence of money. And even in reading that, I'm like, that is exactly the relationship I want to have with money, but it's the relationship I don't have with money. It's very wild, you know? And then what would make me feel financially fulfilled with money? I think just having enough, always having enough, no matter what I wanted to spend it on and no matter what I needed, you know, to always have enough and to always use it as a doorway to open up more freedom, more joy, more happiness, more connections, more growth, just expansiveness with it. That's what I truly see it as, a tool for expansiveness and accessibility. And a good key too is like money amplifies everything. So I would want to have a very clean and clear container, which I think is what I'm working on now. Is like just releasing all the stickiness in my life. So when money comes in, it's amplifying this beauty that I've been working so hard on transforming. A little scary there. All right, last one here. Number 7 is, what does it mean to be rich to you? What does being rich mean to you? We'll rephrase that question. I said, being rich to me means having freedom of time, money, location, and obligation. It means to have the ability to do what I want when I want. It means being fearless with money and knowing that it'll always return back to me. It means that I'm successful and I'm a valued person in life. So go ahead and answer that question is, what does being rich mean to you? Then once you finish that, pause the video, we'll go back to what we do with all these answers. And if you're back, what we did, so once you go through all these questions, what I did was copy and paste this entire document into Google Gemini, and I prompted it and I said, you know, tell me the underlying tone of stories around money. Actually, what I did first was say, take out the questions and break down the underlying tone or analyze the underlying tone of all these answers for what it is with money. And what it did was essentially kick out the realest thing that needed to be done. Actually, I can give you my exact prompt. I said, take out the questions and analyze the tone for what my relationship with money is. What money wound do I have and what needs to be healed? Man, I need to get better at reading these. But essentially, yeah, what needs to be healed? And then it kicked out an analysis that pretty much said the overall tone with money and my relationship with it is anxious, fearful, and scarce-minded. And there's this struggle for survival and a source of significant stress. And I was like, yeah, that sounds about right. And then essentially what I did was kick out a full analysis, and I don't want to read that to you guys, but what I'm doing with this is I'm taking all the answers and the questions and I'm putting it in a Milanote on one side of where I'm at subconsciously right now. And then I'm going to take all these answers and invert them and say, you know, create an inversion of each of these answers into an abundant mindset, the opposite of my scarce money wounds that I have. And on a Milanote, what I'm going to do is put those on the opposite side. So on the left side, I'm going to have my scarcity mindset and subconscious beliefs from my parents, and then shifting it into empowering statements to create an abundant and prosperous mindset. And then hopefully, since we're doing a video a day, I don't have that done right now. That's actually what I'm about to do. And I think you should do the same. And then what we can plan to do is meet back on here tomorrow or the day whenever you finish it, because I'm going to post this probably tomorrow. But if you're a couple days behind, that's okay. Just look for the video behind this one on my 75-day YouTube challenge. And there you will see what I did with all this, because I think it's going to be beautiful. And I think you're going to see, like, as overall, when you can identify your wounds and look at yourself in a mirror ever so clearly and be like, damn, that's what's holding me back. And the second you can look at that and see it and not only become aware of it, but create a plan to change it, then you're going to see stuff shift. And when it shifts, that's the magic of life, is simply just becoming aware of it and then creating new patterns to create that new, beautiful destiny that you're going to step into. That's it. That's all I got for you today. 15 minutes later, but we did it. Thank you guys so much for watching. Peace out and have a good day.